Hello everyone, my name is Yuri from Mouse, and we are here going up the mountain, taking you on a nice trip for Bathurst. So we're in the McLaren for this one. We don't know what the BOP is yet for the sprint week and for the Bathurst 12 hours. Before the BOP though, a car with a turbo in general will be good around here. I think after the BOP, because this car struggles a bit with traction, can still be a really good choice, just because it will be a car that's very strong in the straights. And if you can manage to stick with on the mountain, it will be hard to overtake and easy to overtake other cars, which is always a good trait you want to have. So let's get into a lap and see how we conquer this mini Nordschleife, as many like to call it. Right, so here we are, about to start the lap in the McLaren. McLaren can be a bit tricky on the downhill, but it's very quick in the high speed and very quick on the straights, especially acceleration. So let's have a look. Turn 1, we want to be braking just before the 50. Use the camber of the track here to get the power down. And then here we should really be strong in the McLaren. The long run up the hill, and for turn 2 we want to brake just after the entrance road on the left side and let the track, the camber of the track, pull you through the corner, just like so. Go to the outside, open it up here, brake just after the kick, try to carry the speed along the inside here. Careful for the traction on exit, that's where the McLaren can struggle a bit. And should be quite easy flat around here. This one's not as easy flat, but should still be manageable with the right line. A small lift here before slamming back on the power again. And on the downhill here, try to shift down late. That really helps with the stability of the car. Follow the curb, aim for the wall on the inside, and you just about miss it. Then right in a straight line towards the inside, again aim for the wall on the inside, you just about miss it. And we got the long run down the hill, finally a breather. We're going towards the dipper now. And for the dipper, we're braking right around the 100. We can brake really hard because the car gets pushed into the road. Try to carry the speed here. And last corner, we're braking just before the 50. Quite hard to find a marker there. Try to set up for a good exit. And that's the lap around Bathurst. Right, so we had a bit of a breather after the downhill, but especially the mountain section was a lot to keep up with, so let's have a closer look from the outside. We're here for turn 1, and turn 1 already, it might look easy, like a normal 90-degree left-hander, but there's a lot of camber going on here, so you want to brake just before the 50, or if you would rather have that brake at the start, these brake markers here, it's a bit harder to see this behind other cars, so I like using the fish as a reference. And then you want to turn in quite late, because we have a long straight after this. And you want to use this inside bit of camber here. So you want to make sure that when we get to the apex here, which is just after the curb here, you want to be with your left wheels close to the curb or on the curb. Because this bit of camber is the highest, it stops around here. So if you have your car halfway down this bit here with the left side tires here, you're going to lose a lot of performance. And then we want to use this bit of camber here that ends quite quickly to start to get the power down. So we want to start to get the power down here, and then let the car drift out wide when the camber goes off. And then the outside curb here catches the car a bit again, and we can use this all the way on top of the curb. You don't want to clip the gas here, but you want to use the top of the curb and then come back after the curb ends through the bit of tarmac they made just for us. And then the strong point in the McLaren, the acceleration here. Then we get to the second corner, which is also the second corner with a lot of camber in it. So what I want to do for the second corner here, I want to look to the left side, and I use this entry road as a reference. I want to brake just as this entry road ends. So when I'm in the car, it looks like I just passed it. So we're coming here, and then when I just pass it, I start to brake. And then, oh, that's the wrong one. I want to get to the inside quite early. If I'm doing the normal racing line from here, it's easy to miss it. So get to the inside quite early. Kind of when you start turning in, you want to aim for where the curb starts, and then follow the curb on the inside until you start to understeer wide. And that's usually, if you did this well, towards the exit. So here again, the camber stops around here, so you want to use this camber on the inside all the way through until the track starts to flatten out. The car naturally starts to understeer. We start to understeer towards this outside here. If you understeer too much, don't be too worried, because this curb will catch the last bit before you clip the wall on the left side. Then we got a very tricky corner coming up here. We want to open this braking for the next hairpin as much as we can. That means we want to be as far to the right side wall here as we can. Bring it to the inside while we're still flat. And then when we get here, just after the kink, we want to brake as much in a straight line. And we want to get to the outside here with the right side tires, not quite towards the wall. Because from the white line here to the wall, there's a bit of camber going to the opposite direction of the corner where we're going. So if you're all the way in the wall here, you need to be quick getting back within the white lines. If you're here with the right side tires, you'll just understeer and not make the corner properly. So we come from the outside, again, brake as much and straight as you can, but because we're turning, you can't brake as hard. And you want to bring it to the inside. And in this corner here, kind of the closer you get to the wall here, the more camber there is, the faster you can go. So you really want to have this left mirror here really close to clipping the wall on the left side. So you can see even my left side tires here are past the white line. So as far to the inside as you can possibly get here. Then again, let the car track wide when the camber goes off. Here, especially with cars that have not much grip, not much traction out of the corners. For example, the front engine cars or the McLaren or the Ferrari. You want to make sure maybe run a higher gear. A lot of the times you want to run quite a low diff, and it's quite easy here because the inside left or the rear left, sorry, it gets overloaded and diff to open up. And once this tire starts turning, with an open diff, all the power will just go to this one, and you'll kind of stop accelerating and just have the left wheel spinning up. So you want to be really careful here not doing that, and you can do that by the moment the camber goes away, having the wheel quite straight, or being careful with the throttle, or as I like to do here in the McLaren, keep it in third gear instead of second gear for the hairpin. So that's one thing you want to look out for. And then just get close to the wall. This is easy flat anyways. In the VRS conditions, so this is quite early morning with half a tank, all of this is quite easily flat. Once we get to higher temperatures, it will be really tricky to keep first one, this one flat, and then the second one I don't think will be full flat anymore. For this one, you just want to, you see the wall opening up on the left side here, you want to open it up with the wall. So you want to follow that, start turning in, and then it should be quite easy, flat, not getting too close to the wall on the exit here. And you just want to open it up to the right side here. Means that by the time you get to the bottom of this hill here, you will want your right side tires to the right of this line. And start turning in. You don't want to clip this curb on the inside here, but you want to get close to it. And then you should be able to avoid this outside wall again. When we have these conditions where it's early morning, it's quite easily flat. Once we start adding fuel to the car and getting later in the stint, for example, or in the 12 hours where it gets in the afternoon, it gets really, really hot. I don't think this will be full flat anymore. You will want to lift a bit on the engine here and then have it flat from here again. You don't want to lift exactly in the middle of the corner here because we're running in general quite low wings. If you lift exactly in the middle of the corner, the rear can get very snappy. And then we have a similar thing here where you want to lift on top of the hill, but if you lift exactly on top of the hill without going on throttle early, you see I'm on throttle quite early again here, the rear can be quite snappy. So I'm gonna throttle back early here to keep the rear in check. Then we get to the downhill part here, where you just want to open it up close to the wall. And you want to start braking just before we go completely downhill. It depends a bit on how much wind you're running, how late you can brake here. But in general, if you're struggling with a rear that's loose, which will be in most cases, shifting down later, so the late downshift can really help with the rears here and how much grip they have on the downhill. So we want to aim for this wall on the inside, then get the car turned on the curb here, and then we have a bit of braking here where we go straight again. And it's the same as always, we can't brake in a straight line. The more you can get your car to go in a straight line, the more you can brake, the more you have to turn, the more you have to go up. You see that on the downhill here as well. Middle of the corner here, braking a bit less, we're braking a bit more again, straight. On the curb here, we're braking quite a lot less, braking more. And for the right-hander here, we will go on board for this one. You want to aim with the right side tire, come from the middle of the track, and you want to aim for this curb here. And then once you hit this curb, you want the car to follow the curb all the way around. You want to follow the curb, follow the curb, follow the curb, follow the curb. And then from this point here, you want to spot your next apex, which is here. And what I like to do is I like to aim at these letters here. So I want to aim my car at these letters, at the wall. So as you can see here, I'm aiming my car at these letters. But because when I'm aiming here, the track starts to fall away and the car stops turning, we get a natural bit of understeer. We just about pass these letters, you can see. But when I'm driving and when I'm looking like this, it looks like we're aiming for those letters. And if you don't aim for those letters, you'll naturally understeer a bit more wide than you have to. It's really crucial to be on the inside here, not too wide, because then we can make use of this compression where the track starts to be a bit more flat again, to go back on the power and aim the car straight. So we'll look at this from the outside quickly, because it's really important. You want to come from the middle of the track here. You want to follow this inside curve, follow the inside curve, follow the inside curve. And then from here, with your tires on the right side, inside curve, you want to aim for these letters. So as you can see, my whole car will start to aim for these letters. And then because we're going downhill, it just about misses these. And the closer you can consistently get to this wall, the more speed you can carry through this, and the faster you will be at Bathurst. And you'll see this is where the proper Australian kangaroo drivers, they've done a million laps on this. They will have this left side mirror right on this wall every single lap. And for us that don't drive this track that often, it will be really hard to catch up or keep up, rather. There's always a couple of people that show up on these weeks that they're flying. They're absolutely flying. And we, please say we, as someone that's not from Australia, that doesn't do a million laps on this, I'm always blown away at how quickly they go at the start of the week. It always takes me a couple of days to really get consistently close to these walls, but that's how the speed is gained here. And then we get this compression here, and we use this compression to start putting back on power, to power just as straight as we can here. And here we just want to open up this right-hander, so keep the car on the left side as much as you can. Keep the car on the right side, and then we want to brake here. And this is quite a special braking zone where we want to brake from the right side, but we don't want to brake and open up this corner to the right side. We want to actually brake to the middle of the track or even a bit to the inside. So you can see the outside here is dirty as well. We want to brake to the middle of the track or to the apex, which feels really, really weird. But if we don't do that, it's just really hard to get the car to the inside here, the last bit. And what we want to do here, again, is we want to be as close to the wall as we can. Left side tires need to be at least within the white line, preferably even closer. And then we have the most camber on the inside of the track. And then we want to use this camber in the middle of the corner here, where you see the car gets compressed into the road. We want to use this to go on throttle quickly, and then just about miss this wall on the outside. So we'll look here from the top of the hill, downhill, and you'll see here when we're braking, because we're not braking in a straight line, our brake shape looks very, very strange. It's like three peaks. So at the start here, I'm braking a bit more. Then we get to the apex. You see I'm braking less towards the apex, but I still keep the brake on. Then we have a bit of straight line in between the corners where I'm braking more again. On the curb, I go quite a lot less, and then last bit of hard braking again when we're off the curb going in a straight line. And I try to keep the car following the inside with steady speed. So you can see my speed here doesn't change much. It only goes out a tiny bit, and then tiny bit on the brake here to get the weight on the front axle of the car. To get that turn in for the dipper here on the left side. And then bang on the throttle, and then the last bit here for the horseshoe. You see we start braking and slowly release again for the apex, and then when we have the rotation, when we're all the way on the inside, we use this compression to quickly go back onto the power. You don't have to wait too long on the power here for a good exit back onto the long side. And again, all of this on the downhill and being close to the walls. The closer you get to the wall, the more performance you get, the faster you go. So you'll see people, like the differences just being made mostly on this downhill and on the mountain section. Then we get to here, we just brake before the 100. And we can brake very, very hard here. It, of course, depends a bit how you have your brake cylinders and the brake pad setup. But this is one of those corners where the car gets compressed into the road where you can brake 100% or close to 100%. And we just try to carry the speed here, throttle early that your right side tires can be on the curb. And the last corner is very, very tricky to spot your braking point because it's not at the 100, it's not at the 50, it's right in between. It's mostly feeling for me where I'm braking here. Maybe you could use the inside curb here, but it's very far where I want to be looking. I just mainly look at the 50 here and just get a feeling of how far before the 50 I need to brake. Just try to set this up. Avoid this curb at all costs because it's too high, it upsets the car too much. Set it up for a nice new next lap. We start all over again. Right, so there we are. How to conquer a lap of Bathurst, one of the best tracks in the world for a nice special event week here. Very, very tricky. You want to be close to those walls, grazing the walls, trying to keep up with the Australians on the home track here. Always a good time. Always one of my favorite weeks on iRacing. So if you have time, I would definitely recommend doing this week, learning the track, and doing the 12 hours. So I wish everyone good luck with that. And if you want to see more videos like this, make sure to subscribe to the channel. I'll see everyone next week for the next sprint race.